these Southern Americans who don't want to work. They are there, they're going to earn per hour, but they don't want to work. The Spanish-speaking, they speak Spanish, they don't speak English. 50% of Americans speak Spanish. If you're going to live in the US, it's good you learn some Spanish because in your country, you're communicating with people who speak Spanish. They don't want to work. Young men, many of them from Venezuela, you know, their government is so that we need to run away to survive from foreign because it use. So they are running into the US, and US is just closing their. Mexico is their problem. People from Venezuela, they are just closing their eyes on it because of the government in Venezuela. And so when they come, you see young undergraduates who couldn't continue school because of the government, and US whole families working on the sites, and you see some of them just lays around because the supervisor is not there, or they do minimal work for the fee. So worldwide is a problem. There's a story around 1825. That story was written around 1825 by one Dr. Herbert Hubbard. How that story became popular? It's called a book. Now it's not a book. It's actually like a 3-page story. And how that story became popular was because some Chinese soldiers that caught some American soldiers. When they caught them, they found out that all of them were holding a piece of paper that contained the story in English, so they translated it to Chinese. So that they will know, because since every soldier we capture that's American is holding this thing, it was very important. Maybe there are some secrets to the war that we need to know. So they translated it, and when they translated it, they found out that it was a story of a young man who was called and sent into the forest during the Spanish-American War. He was sent into a particular forest. When he was called and sent on that errand, he didn't ask any questions. He didn't know where the forest was. He just took the message and started going. And the next time they heard about him was when he came to deliver the message that he had to his master, that he had delivered the message to the commander in the forests, in the center of the war. How he did it, nobody knows. But the idea here was that he was given an errand to go to the war front and deliver a message to the commander at the war front. That message was delivered. How he got there, he did not ask questions. What route am I going to take? Which part of the war front is it? He found out everything by himself, delivered, and came back. And the story went on to analyze the work attitude of people today. So many people just ask them to give you the story to find the beginning of choir in the dictionary. The first thing they will ask you is whether it starts with a K or a Q. They must ask questions. People don't want to go extra mile to find out things for themselves. If you ask somebody to go do something, they will tell you that they've not done it before. That how is it done? They won't go. Now we have Google. When this story was written, there was no Google. Now we have Google. You can be given an assignment and you go on the net and find out details of how you can do it. People don't want to do it. But then you consult me. We have many consultants who depend on some of their friends to develop materials. They have a training, they call me, Chima, do you have the material on this? I pass the sleepless nights to develop the materials, to go to Google, get the materials, develop it, put it in slides, and send to them. So that's an advantage. They can go through that process of staying all through the night and developing 30 to 40 slides to do their training the next day. So they will call me to find out if I have it. If it's not something I have, I'll have to develop it for them because of relationships. That is how the world is. That story became known as a message to Garcia. A message to Garcia. At your own time, you can just Google it, a message to Garcia, Dr. Herbert Hubbard. Or you take the name Dr. Herbert Hubbard and the message, that's his name, that's the story that made it popular. And you read it. You find many times that people complain about business owners who are wicked to subordinates. Is that also? Yes. But nobody has sympathy for the man who spends his life raising money and establishing a big business and employing some people who, through that employment, feed their families, pay their elementary school fees, and do everything. Yet they get to that office and they don't do good work. They did not contribute money to the establishment of the business. No. Somebody else did it, took their life savings, borrowed money from the banks, and established a business. Now employ people who, by that employment, pay the school fees of their children, pay their rents, feed their families. That if anything should happen, all these things will stop, and they may even get to committing suicide. Nobody has sympathy for that man that has employed these people, and they come for an 8-hour work day. You work for 4 hours in the name of 8 hours. That is, you should tell yourself the truth. you don't work the 8 hours in a day. Nobody has sympathy for the owner of the business. But we hear it when the salary does not come on time. Is that not so? When the salary does not come on time, we hear it that the salary does not come on time. When the boss is annoyed and stressed and says, talks anyhow, which is not allowed, we hear the story. But when the subordinate gossips the boss behind, nobody hears it. In fact, we tell him that it is not everything that subordinates say you will listen to. That you are too big to be listening to small talk. That's what we tell him. Yes. But let him say something, the whole company will hear it that you see what Oga said to this person. If it's me, I will resign. The person advising if it's taking revenge. That's what we do. So work attitude is all over the world in various ways. Some people come to work just because they have to go to work. They are going to work. You cannot imagine what is happening. If we are discussing private sector, which is very active in Nigeria, you cannot imagine what is happening in our public sector. People don't work in the public sector. One of the reasons is that employment, is anybody HR here? They have an HR person here. They are the head of HR. Good. You know how employment is done in organizations. When there is need, when there's a specific group, you employ for that need. So the person comes and already has a table and works at. In Nigerian public sector, that's not how employment is done. There's a long list of relatives of senior people who have not gotten job. So they decided not just to employ them. So they conduct interviews and employ them. So you have 3-4 people doing the same job. And what one person does to earn their salary is go and bring that file, they bring it and give it to you and sit down and wait for the next assignment to go and bring file. One thing they will pay them salaries. And they are graduates, so they are level 8. Yeah, right. They are graduates, so they are level 8. And these people who started their career like this, if they continue in the ministry, they will end up becoming assistant directors and directors in that ministry. Yes. How effective and efficient can they be? When at the level where you are, where you work hard, there's a level in your career where you do real hard work to groom yourself for the period when you do not need to work to earn the big salary. You see, all of you must pay your dues. It gets to a point, there's a level in your life where you work more than the MD, because the MD is only thinking, not working. If the MD is still working, you guys are not doing a good job. You should be thinking. When he thinks it out, he tells us to go to work. So there's a time period in your life where you are doing all the work, the dirty work, everything. You'll be on the streets, moving up and down. You won't wait for the pool car, because the pool car is not available. Someone else has gone out to you need to meet targets. You take Okada, come down somewhere, take taxi, traffic, you jump down from the taxi, take Okada again, you take bike until you get to where just to achieve the goals. After that, you get to various levels until you now get to the level where you have people who will be doing that for you while you are sitting in the office and be calling, have you gotten there? Have you seen the deal? Very good. Make sure you see the deal. Don't come back until you see the deal and you are sitting in your office. These are the advantages of being at the top. So when you get to the top, don't be uncomfortable that there is no work on your table. You have done all the work of your life as a junior person. So you get to a level where other people do the work and you just sign off. So by the time your subordinate's barrel is finished after 1 month, your own is lasting for 2 years because you only sign. Your own is just to sign. They do all the writing, all the books and everything, and you just correct. They go back and start again. It gets to a point where you forget some functions on the keypad, on the keyboard, because you've not done memos or anything for a very long time. Somebody does it and you just sign off. That is how life is. If you need to go back, you need to start all over again. It's just like many of us who graduated many years ago, simultaneous equation we can't solve. But get a young boy in JSS 4. They will solve it easily without, they won't even look at it twice. Depends on how simple it is. They just look at it and tell you the answer. Check the answer is correct without writing anything. But for you, simultaneous equation, even the sentence, the word alone, you are afraid of it, not to talk of the equation. Is that not so? Yes, that is how life is. So this is the problem. It's also part of the problem you have so much inefficiency at the top. Because most of the people at the top in the public sector, they are not groomed. So come to the banking sector. The young men you find out, MD of banks that are making so much money for the organization and for themselves, is because when they started their careers at the production program, they worked so hard. They work so hard. So now that they are thinking, holding meetings with government officials to get big accounts, they don't have to do that work, but they groom themselves. So when we say you have a proper work attitude, it's not just for the organization. No training is done for the organization. Every training you receive is for you. You can't be leaving this organization today, an origin group will take an R or a T and place on your brain that all the training we gave you, don't use it anywhere. If you use it anywhere, we sue you. Any knowledge you get in the training room goes with you wherever you are going. If you learn any new skill here, and you get an organization where they've not learned it, you become a champion for knowing it. And it's just a one-day training. Just one day. If there are some of you here who are good in public speaking, and we do our presentation skills tomorrow and learn some of those skills, when you get to a new place where they do presentations every morning, every Monday morning, they do presentations, it gets to your turn to do a presentation. They give you a book the previous week to go and review and give us a 30-minute, 1-hour presentation in the morning. By the time you do yours, everybody will know that your own is different. Then when the day the MD will be doing a function and they said, okay, our department is going to be presented by who? By you. And for the first time, you are going to make a presentation before your MD. He hasn't seen you before. But this is the skill you've learned here. You probably have not attended a presentation skills program all your life till here. Just that day. You just remember all the points, how to stand and stuff like that, and you go there and do in front of the MD. And the MD comes quietly and asks someone close to them, who is that lady? When did he employ her? These are the type of books you bring in this organization. This was said privately, you didn't hear it, it goes a long way. Little things are important. So work attitude is important. Yesterday, when we are discussing differences between goods and services, there was something we discussed. We said that some situations, some work situations cannot be quality measured, like rudeness. You cannot quality check rudeness. But do you know that especially in the banking industry, which will be our case study for customer service, because of the crowd that goes in every day, you know that in that banking industry, some people for having the right work attitude at the teller point and cutting husbands from that teller point have been promoted at that teller point. Tell you real life experiences. Teller point. Baba goes to a particular bank and chooses a teller because of the niceness of the teller to the old man between 70 and 75. In that busy environment, it is this teller that, Baba, how are you today? How is your head? The other day you said you had fever. Are you okay now? So Baba likes going there because that's the person that gives him attention. Sometimes he'll be there, the lady will be paying them, so Baba will be with you nicely. Even though in her mind, Baba, go now, let me concentrate on other people. When Baba's son came back from abroad, without a wife here, Baba just asked his son, still, all these years, you've not seen someone to marry. He said, no, I don't want to marry all this, before you know it, all your property will become their own and you will be in this house. He said, okay, so you want to marry from here? I said, yes, it's okay, I can't choose wife for you. But when you go to our bank, get to our bank, the lady seated this, when you place the banking roll, the lady seated first from the left. She said, good girl, this is what she does, this is what you can do. Just check her out, you'll be like, that's all. And that made the marriage. You will imagine that the lady was not pretending to Baba because she knows she's not going to have anything to do with Baba. She was just being herself. Another situation, a top shot of an organization went to a banking hall and got very wonderful treatment from that branch. Naturally. Now went to the club, to the golf club. And while the introductions were going on, they now introduced that this is the MD of Social Bank. His friend which came to say, this is the MD of Social Bank. So, you're the MD of that bank. Your people are wonderful. I walked into one of your branches and I got excellent customer service. The MD said, we have customer service all over our branches. You know, they will go through the places like that. I said, which of the branches did you go to? I said, Allen branch. I went in there. One young man, second from the left. The guy is excellent. He did this. I was impressed. Then he said, that's how we are. People get trained from customer service. The next day, then he visited that branch. Met the boy, gave him a handshake, and instructed there and then for his promotion to the next level. Proper work attitude, is that not so? These things, you learn them, you will decide. You see, in this life, you decide whether you succeed or not. Nobody's routine. Even some people that they did juju for, after some years, the juju will expire. One thing about juju is that juju expires. I hope you know, it does expire. It's just the person who did it to make a mistake, he will go and make sacrifice to remove it, or he will die. Okay? or the team were rotting somewhere we can't do it, or one small boy who is playing football with God, they kept it. You know, something will just happen. It doesn't last forever. Yes, it doesn't last forever. Even the one that they threw into the river, fish will swallow it. Somehow we catch the fish, bring it out, and the thing will get spoiled. Somehow. Somehow, when you have the right attitude, somehow when you have the right attitude towards life, and with God on your side, no matter where they put the thing will scatter. But when you have the poor attitude, you create an enabling environment for failure. You know, you can create an enabling environment for failure. Yes, you can create an enabling environment for failure. So even when you have to be blessed, failure will be in front of you because you have created an enabling environment for it. Yes, sir.
Let me corroborate what you have said about right work attitude. I think all of us know Pastor Tunde Bakare.
Yes.
The wife, Lady. In my early days, when I saw Lady was my star. Lady was on the counter. Tunde Bakare was working with a law firm called Walker & Co. on Broad Street. The morning he would come. Well, if you're not a lawyer, he would come. And that was in the 70s. Bakare would come. And from there, that's why he married Lady.
You said that was in the 70s?
70s.
In the bank?
Yeah.
So in the 70s, you were working in the bank?
Yes.
You don't look it.
He's an athlete.
It's the
70s that we are born?
It's the grace of God. So let me tell you, in the work at Lady was my star. I was supervisor. She was on the counter. And he started to come. Because from the bank, Tunde married Lady because of attitude. Because Lady was my best. I will tell you, it was my best. If you send a customer complaint, send Lady to that customer on the counter, and at the end of the day, the customer will laugh away. How she does it. But that was the right attitude. And I just want to corroborate what he said, that you can get a lot from being nice to people. Particularly because of your job, because you know how you say that. You never know. The same thing, I'll tell you, this Justice Muri Okola, the son who is now the head of service in Lagos, Akim. Justice Muri Okola will come to the house, and once he comes, I won't say, I'll tell you, let me attend to this. From there, the man invited me to his house. Yeah, and Akim was a small boy there. Then the day I went to land, Akim went to land to meet to see him, and I told him, he said, many years ago, from that day we became friends, not only friends, we were in touch. You see what work attitude can do for you. So anything he's telling you, it's not as if he's just telling you for sake. You never know how it comes to play in future. And I will tell you, again, when I was to get married, as a young man, I stay in my father's house. No responsibility, I'll tell you. I don't, one couple I don't draw in my, when I get my salary, for those who don't know Kisai, in Minor then, we go to buy the best of jeans, the best of shoe. We are the best. If you see our suit in the bar, we are the best. We don't do anything. On Fridays, we go to the club, we enjoy ourselves. When I was to get married, I told my dad, look, I said, do you have money? Go and for money. When you are married, when you are married, you can't stay
in my house.
Now, the first challenge I had was to go and look for a house. I was living on the island. I have a car, which I used to the office. I thought the other office on the island. So the challenge was to get a house. Well, how do I afford a house? Then, okay, let me see. I got the decision card. That time 3 months. So one of my customers, the man is still very much alive. The man is first. The man said, "Come, you want to get married? Come, let's discuss." The man said, "Okay, what can you?" I said, "Sir, the problem I have now is a house. I don't have that." He said, "Have you seen her?" I said, "No, so you go and look for a house." Then, if you are not living in Yaba, you are living in Sudori. Yes. So I came to Sudori to look for a house. And I got a 3-bedroom flat. New house.
No, that's not good.
No, not good.
Those are the two
New
pieces.
house. So I went to the man, I said, "Look, I got to say how much." Do you know that way the man gave me a check for the cost of it to rent the house? Because of anything, because of attitude, the way anytime he comes. So anything he's telling you, please don't think the manager is telling you to know. I can give so many instances of the right attitude and the way it will play out for you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. You can't imagine, it requires a whole lot of discipline to have the right attitude. There is everything around you to make you not have the right attitude. Sometimes there are customers from hell. We call them customers from hell. They come to the office to abuse you. The banking industry knows them very well. Some of them, when they come, we start looking for the person who knows how to talk to them, because it's not everybody that can talk to them. Shima, your customer has come, everybody. Yes, everybody is again, Shima is your customer. Because Shima has mastered to pay their fee. Didn't they tell you, the first thing, instead of good money, didn't they tell you that I've been here since? So people look at your head. You know, that is how they start. And not everybody is ready to take it from them. If you went to a uni like business administration, there's one lecturer they call Big Ben. Yeah.
It's not professional.
It's not DVC.
The guy likes me so much. And I was MBA. That was when we became friends. He would harass everybody in the church. Yes, insult.
Nice guy.
So one day, there's a program of business strategy that I chose. He was doing people dodge his specific courses. So we are only 6 that do business strategy. So we did it in the office. The examination was in the office. The one for the actually. So going to check your results, simple. And there was one lady, married, young lady, and he started on the lady, and let's say, students, I don't talk to me like that. I'm a married woman. He said, plus you, God said you that you are not, plus you and your husband, I'll beat 2 of you. I'll beat 2 of you. And you know, he used to be the head of security in like this. I'll beat 2 of you. So on one occasion, I was driving him to Ghana. He told me he was going to the hospital that he can't drive. I was going back to the office. So as we were driving together in the car, he told me to prepare handouts and listen to the class. I said I would do that. I went to the office. He said I should make sure that they pay before. He didn't tell me that. It was later. I gave everybody handouts so that they can pay the money. He now told me that you get the handout to start collecting money. I said yes. And they had to get the handout. So it was okay. He said you're a very stupid boy. I said yes, sir. Sir, do you know what? They used to tell me this thing you just said. I didn't believe it. Now that you have said it, I think it's true that I'm stupid. They used to tell me if I didn't believe it. Now that it's coming from me. He looked at me again. We were sitting in the car. He looked at me again. He said, you are finally man. I said, thank you, sir. That's him.
That's it.
The next day, they called me to his office. Even during that period, to show you, I wasn't annoyed with him. I already knew about him before I got to this. But I also found out he was a nice person.
Very nice.
Very nice person. In the middle of all that, I found out that he was a very nice person. All those things do is the same way a loving father would want to discipline the child that is in his way. That's what it is, not anything. So that's how I liked him first before he now. So he found out I wasn't taking him seriously like other students. There was a time I was having issues getting to pay balance of my school fees. He just got one multi-millionaire student in the class and told him to pay the school fees. The guy paid. The guy has made my friend till today. He has many of them like that. So we have bankers who lost their job and customer employed them immediately. We have those who are on the verge of losing their job and customer will call MD, please don't sack that boy, and the boy is retained, customer. That doesn't know them. How many examples can we give? But we also have many others who because of their attitude, we have placed them in Siberia. They are still in the office, but they have no work. You see, if you have the wrong attitude, you are rude, you are sarcastic, there are some departments you will go to. These departments, you go to these departments after they have sent you to all departments and you have been rejected by the head of departments. They send you to customer service, you abuse your colleagues there, and you are lazy. They will call HR privately, please, save us. This person you got here, save them that department. Okay, HR will oblige on that and send you to operations. When you get to operations, you abuse people here, you are the laziest today. Head of operations will call HR privately, please help us. We are, since you told this person, you are nearly guy. You can't like it. That's what I'm saying. Okay, they send you to accounts. When they send you to accounts, Oyebola, what are you doing? Before you know it, your story has gone around the organization. Then when they move from Oyebola and sent to which department again now? Admin. As we are coming, admin is calling HR. Please. Now, there's no department to send you, send also. We send you to a department known as archives. Where you'll be working with past records. Since you cannot work with humans, with past records. So only you, anytime we need old file of the company from when it was established, we call you on phone, you bring it and go back to your office. Only you there. Head of archives. No promotion, nothing. We will plant you there. And the reason why we are even keeping you in the first instance is because maybe the way you came into the organization, you came in through one director or through one people, so we just can't sack you. Take it back, guys. Many years ago, a security man in Zenith will abuse customers in the afternoon. Afternoon duty. That's don't park there. What do you mean? Go and look for parking space. Do I look like car park? Security man. So one day, the noise was too much about this. Everybody was complaining. Head of HR. Who is this person? And you know all of them are from Abo. All the security men and drivers from Abo. That's how Jim settled this. So they will tell you that they are owners of the park. If you are newly employed, they will tell you that we will be here when you will go. We are here when you can be here. So they were, yes, many of them were relatives. They will be telling the story that Jim, it's my cousin. You know, but they will have remained poor till today because of attitude. They remained poor. So while this noise was going on, head of HR also Abo, Charles Mekuye, he later became an executive director in Shuri Bank. Asked me to say, what is this for the people? In front of my managing partner there, who was also Abo, Dr. Jonathan, he asked me to say, sack him. It's a simple instruction. But sometimes in your life, you always have a second opportunity when there's a messenger of God on a mission on your case. Fortunately, my managing partner was there and made a case for him. Say, please, this man that is making this trouble, they just have 5 children now, and it's depending on this 40,000 a month. You feed them, and they live in one room. If you sack him now, it's not only him. The family members who are not true will also suffer. So find how you will do it. Just talk about it and talk about it. So, okay, what will happen is that we'll put him on permanent night. So since he does not want to work with human beings, let him work in ghosts. So they now put him on permanent night based on begging. Some people are very poor. We see the poor work attitude is not only on your outlook, but on your relationship with workmates. We'll be discussing that. Some people have got so bad because in the back-end industry, they promote you based on marketing instead of other factors. Yeah. They have gotten to the top. Till today, after the crash and everything, their mates have moved to other banks as directors, people becoming MDs. Nobody's hearing about them because they have the poor attitude. Nobody wants to work with them. There was one MD of a bank that moved. Is big like this. He moved to another bank to go and become MD in those days. I don't want to mention the name of the bank and the person. Some of us may know him. He used to harass his subordinates. You see, you are already big. What are you harassing subordinates? While he moved, he was still harassing one young boy that was a marketer in the former bank. The boy just visited him one day. Went to the executive floor and told the secretary, nicely, I want to come and see. He was my former MD, he was my former director where I was working. I came to greet him. So that's how the secretary said, your former boy came to greet you. He thought that it was a joke. He said, Inshallah, the boy entered, secretary entered, the boy went and locked the door. And beat him very well in the office. And told him that the next one I will kill you. If I hear my name again in this industry, I will kill you. So better pretend as if nothing happened. Open the door again with a smile and tell secretary back. And the story ended there. Another one like him, in days of Standard Trust Bank, he was so rude that, you know, drivers, security men can gossip. They can gossip everybody else. He was so rude that they used to call him hot temper behind. That's more of a director or general manager of a bank. That drivers and security men give him hot temper. But now, what they did, because they can't call him hot temper directly, they were calling his driver hot temper. It's nickname they gave to the driver. So the driver will laugh because the driver knows that it is his hot. That is a hot temper. This is a man who lives, if you know where Standard Trust Bank used to be, in VI, or in Jolayemi, you know that the next street is, when you come out to Karimukotu, the next street will be Sanusi Fafuwa. Stays on Sanusi Fafuwa. So you can actually walk across by all states trust bank and you hit your street. The driver stays at Okokobaiko. The driver will remain in the office till 11 while he's working. Go and drop him from Njala, I need to transfer, and start going home by that time of the night. That's the type of person he is. So on one occasion, as he was coming out of the office, you know, when your organ comes out, other drivers will call you that your organ has come out. So as he came out of the office and was looking for his driver, other drivers started, hot temper, your organ don't come out. He had it. So the driver came into the car. When they drove for about 5 minutes, he turned and told him, you see what I've been telling you about your organ? Even your fellow driver says that your organ. So when you have a poor attitude, everybody will know. Even your children will know. Your children will not tender age. You've seen sons, 10-year-olds, telling their mommy, stop talking to daddy like that, your own is too much. 10.
Yeah.
Then that, when they tell you that the first time, you receive shock. Is that not so? You get a shock. When your 10-year-old tells you, stop talking to daddy like that, your own is too much in this house. Then you know that war has been declared. That and it's a lifelong war. You cannot control that child against him, then do you part. You can't. And they agree with their dad, they hold private meetings with their dad when you are not, and they start executing. Yes. For life. If it's a daughter, it's the worst because you just lost your daughter. No communication, no private talk, only with that. Poor attitude. So, let us, as we are going through this course, let us be thinking areas where we can improve ourselves. There's nobody there who cannot succeed. There's nothing called luck. You see, when you see someone who is 70-something saying, when men were men, men never became women at some point. It's because all those years they have done things right to be successful, they were not successful, so they will tell you when men were men. No, men did not become women. There's nothing like luck. William Shakespeare says that when people make mistakes in their lives and they don't do anything to correct those mistakes, the end of it is what they call destiny. But you've also had the adage that your destiny is in your... Yes, that's the true adage. So if your destiny is in your hands, it is not luck. People do not become successful by luck. And you can't see any rich man who will tell you, I was lucky, that's how I became a billionaire. No. Then I worked hard and God bless me. It is only when you are not successful, you say it's not my destiny to reach. I'm not lucky. Everybody does it and they succeed. When I get there, I will fail. I'm not lucky. No. So, no. It may just be that there is one quality of successful people that you have not applied, persistence. It just be that. Come to think of it, let us take true life story. A young lady does not get suit of some kind. Instead of getting nicer, she gets more rude. She believes that the whole world is fighting her, so she gets worse in her attitude towards members of the opposite sex, thereby extending the period. All she needed to do was to become nicer. Simple. That is our usual reaction to delays in the things we desire. Our usual reaction is to give up and treat it as nothing, meanwhile we truly desire it. Poor attitude. Poor attitude. You've been working hard to be successful in one area or the other, it's not working, you just give up and decide that it's not for you. Some other people will persist until they succeed. See? So let's look at that. First of all, let us take this part, responsibility and accountability. Key quality of people in the workplace who want to be successful. Being responsible and accountable is part of having a proper work attitude. What it means to be responsible and accountable in the workplace. When a manager tells you to be responsible and accountable at your work, you might be confused at what he or she means. Many people often use these workplace buzzwords to mean the same thing, when they have different meanings. Your ability to be responsible and accountable is a direct result of the tasks you are assigned and your personal work ethic when you take ownership of your work product. That personal work ethic, when you take ownership of your work product, is key in having the right work attitude. When you are hired for a job, your manager provides you a list of your duties, also known as responsibilities. She will tell you that we are using she here because in most instances they use he. So to balance it, that's why we are using she here, because your boss will be a female. She will tell you that it is your job to ensure the tasks on the list are completed when due. While you can be assigned a variety of responsibilities, whether or not you are accountable depends on your character. A person who demonstrates accountability takes the heat if he or she does not complete the task on schedule. When you refuse to be accountable, you place the blame on someone else for the project's failure. Is that not so? Yes. Do we not have people like that who are always looking for the next person to blame? It is never their fault. When they fail in life, it is never their fault. They have developed the disease, the social disease known as excusitis. Excusitis, inflammation of the excuse glands. If not that my father died when I was young, I have been a graduate. Have you not seen people who on the day they were born, going home, accident, only child will survive? And they eventually became graduates? Have you not seen people like that? If not that the start they gave me is not hard work, we have completed the job. It is this person that did it. Whereas some other person will say, if I wait for this person, this job will not be done. So they go ahead and leave it. Their careers are more important to them than your inefficiency. In this life, two people work in the same environment. I'll give you an illustration. They work in the same environment. One is successful, leaves that environment and becomes successful. The other one remains here. True life story, two accounts, true life story. There is this accounting firm that used to be in Malachi State. Yeah, I think it's Michael Stevens. I can't remember. One accounting firm used to be in Malachi State. I think that's it, Michael Stevens. I can't remember. This accounting firm. Someone who had school start. Short, he didn't have school start. He was a T-boy, primary 6. So he was a T-boy, 17. Young accountants will come to the firm to work and start doing their ICANN or SCC until they qualify. He couldn't go to the university. It was in that company that he did his school start, GCE, and got his papers. Started foundation of ICANN. Without having a degree, he qualified as a chartered accountant while in that firm with primary 6 certificates and GCE. He qualified as a chartered accountant. His fellow T-boy, who had a school cert, remained a T-boy when he had become a chartered accountant. His table moved. The same office. In a bank, security men, just as we have security men in a bank, that's how in a particular bank, one security man. Let me tell you how that security man came to Lagos. There were two of them that came to Lagos from the village. Everyone went to their uncle's house. The second one went back to the village that uncle's wife is wicked, that they want to starve him to death. Because in Lagos, in the morning, sometimes we don't eat, we zoom off. Those in the house will take 2 slices of bread and a cup of tea. And we are talking about a boy that breakfast was apple. The remnant of apple from the previous night is breakfast. Then lunch and the jam. Then evening apple. Whichever. In some places, it's not regarded. Until now, that poverty. Where I come from, in Imo State, it's known as Ohaji. Literal translation, place of yams. So there was a time that if you were swallowing, if it wasn't pounded and you have not eaten. In short, the way I had a slight experience of it before things became bad in the country. In my first year in university, that was when I started traveling to my hometown. I'm more of a Lagos person. So in my first year, because I went to UNN, I decided to travel home, so I know my hometown. So I learned how to speak Igbo while in school. And I got to, they put this yam, cut yam, put it in the pot, boiling to pound. So, and while the thing was boiling, it was getting done on the fire. People were taking from the fire. You have pepper and onions blended with red oil, well prepared noodles. So people were eating. So I thought we were eating already. So I took 3 pieces, some people took 4, 5. You see them standing there eating it. The remnant they pounded. So when they finished, I had eaten. As far as I'm concerned, I had eaten. And it was good. But the people that take 5 pieces of they cut it small like what we used to do as well. They cut it really large size. They sat down again to eat. Evening. So they said I should come and eat. I said, I'm eating. I should like it. If you see the shouting on my head, and it was in my mother's side, and this tradition in my place that if you go to your mother's side, you are protected. Not if you don't climb trees so that, because if you fall, it's against them. So if you want to pluck any fruit, they'll send somebody in the kindred to go and pluck the fruit for you. They are not supposed to climb the tree, you are protected. So they are like, it is not here you want that we keep. When you go to your father's side, you kill it here. They all sat down to eat this thing, and the pounded jam was hard. When you hear Major Kama money, you understand it. Pounded jam was hard. They will swallow it. These people, I used to see their muscles, but I didn't see any weight. They were lifting. It was then I confirmed why the muscles were there. You swallow this thing, you see the sign with a sound. That's what they were doing. So that first boy went back because he can't do tea and bread in the morning rice in the afternoon, indomie and plantain in the evening. He can't do it. So he went back. The other one got used to that. The other one got used to that with time. He got used to it. From houseboy, he became, for many years, he was houseboy. You know how wives can treat relatives of husbands in this part of the world. So he was houseboy in his uncle's house. But he endured it. When he became a man, you normally would not have a houseman. So they had to get a security job for him. That's how he went to a security company. The security company now sent him to the bank. When he got to the bank, every year he will see, every 6 months he will see young graduates submit their application forms at the security post. He will take it to HR, they will be invited for interview, some of them will be employed, and he will still see the people he collected their CVs going to the banking hall as tenants and customer service people, becoming bankers. Before you know it, they have loan, they buy their cars. He saw this thing for a number of years, and he decided that his situation must change. That's security when we were there. They used to discuss it. One of the managers, he had a very good attitude, so one of the managers took a liking to him. And he now told the manager that he wants to go to the university. But he doesn't want to continue with the security work. That he's 28 years already, has not achieved anything. Because he wants to get back to it. So the manager said, okay, do you have schools? I said that he has schools. He said, okay, we are going to take JAMB. Then JAMB was 5,000 naira. The manager gave him 5,000 to go and buy JAMB for. The salary was 15,000 a month of the security company. So with the 5,000 he bought the JAMB form. By the laws of the universe, when you have gone full circle in troubles, it gets to a time where things will change. Everything you touch will turn to gold. Yeah. By the laws that govern the universe. So when you are going through stress, go through it, enjoy it. Because very soon it will change and you start wondering, how did I survive those days? It gets to a point in your life where if you have only 10, if you have 100 million in the account, you'll be asking yourself, how did I survive with 5,000 in my account? At any point, how do people survive it? You start wondering. Because some people, when their money goes below 50 million, they start crying. Their poverty is setting 50 million. If Aliko's wealth comes down to 1 billion, you will shout, $1 billion. You will start shouting. That means poverty has set in at $1 billion. So this young man got admission immediately, first attempt on JAMB. Now, how will he do it? He's working. He needs that monthly allowance. So he talked to the manager again that was the challenge. The manager talked to the security manager that used to come for inspection, and they put him on permanent night for 4 years. So they won't put him at a particular spot. If you're on permanent night in the security company, they won't keep you somewhere, so you won't plan robbery. So they were moving to different banks that they were servicing. Every week he was at a different place for 4 years. Go to school in Unilag in the morning, come to work in the night. Go to school in the morning for 4 years, and he graduated. When he graduated, his youth service exempted. So he brought his CV and gave it to the same manager, who took it by hand to HR. His interview, his aptitude test, everything was formality, because they already knew him. Everybody already liked him based on the attitude he used to display. He was the most helpful of all security men. Yeah. So they took him in that paper. I do not know if you were in that security post, you were one of the security men with him, how you will feel if on a Friday he was wearing uniform with you in the security post. And the next Monday morning, he comes in with suit and walks past you and greets you with the same language you used to greet, and he goes to the banking hall. And you bring someone in to come and show them to someone, and you see your former colleague on Friday paying customers at the telephone. Imagine it, how do you feel? If that's what happened in that bank. So you see, depends on your character. Whether you're people, depends on your character. Anything you do. A person who demonstrates accountability takes the heat if he or she does not complete the task. So you cannot be having excuses in your life. Go back and think. If there are some things that you have been excusing yourself that if not for this, I have done this, if not for this, I have done this. Some people, under that same circumstance, did that thing that you are saying, if not for this, I have done this. Go ahead. Sit down.
When you made mention of taking ownership, like taking ownership on some issues.
On your phone responsibility.
Exactly. You do not give excuses. You shouldn't blame second person or something. have a little problem with that because sometimes it might actually be due to some people's irresponsibility that some things happen. And if efficiency, and if I go by what you said that okay, you could just you don't complain, take the person's job and do it so that your own job can continue, then your job will be lacking. Because something similar happened to me. I took somebody else's job and I really paid dearly for my own job that was lacking.
If it's a job that is dependent on that person, because if you do it, it constitutes security risk in the organization, like some functions in banks, somebody has to sign off. If it's that type of job, and you are the manager in the team, you may not be the person to do it. But there's a quotation we have in management that if you have an incompetent staff, it is not the staff that's incompetent, it is the manager that's incompetent. So it falls back to you. So if you have that type of function and there's somebody whose inefficiencies is affecting them, let the person leave the team. Make a formal report. In this part of the world, we don't want anybody to say we are the people that know they lose their jobs. As a HR person, you understand that the function of hiring is as important as the function of firing. Mr. Branches has a video, firing, it must be done. And another one has to hire and how to fire. These are procedures. Somebody can be hired, someone can be fired. So if you are in a position to fire somebody and you refuse to fire the person, it's your responsibility. You take the hit. If the person messes up the job, it's you. That's it. So whichever way.
Sorry, sir. What if you don't have? I'm talking to.
Yes, if you don't have the power, make a formal report. Escalate. Every time you are receiving query for another person's malfunction, you are receiving query. So what happens? We have a situation where even the person you are receiving query for may be a backstabber. There are the people who are not doing the job, but they be the person to go to before you to go and report first. Some people don't work, but they know how to create good relationship with bosses. So the bosses will like them, but they are not working. Then you will be receiving query. Why? Whose fault? Escalate. Straight. I have found out over time that when we do the right thing, sometimes it seems we pay dearly for it. But in the long run, we didn't pay dearly for it. In the long run, we benefit.
I think most of the time, what she's saying, I think the problem is that when we are giving responsibility, we delegate and abdicate.
Yes.
You see, if you don't abdicate, when you delegate, you have to follow through. But when you abdicate, you just, well, I have given it to this person, and you expect that person to deliver, and you are not on top, that's abdication, and that's where we face. But if you are on top of the person, every minute you know that whether that person is competent or incompetent, and you can make a quick report before the deadline to make sure that you correct any situation.
And look, come to the think of it, even if the person is not reporting to you, another person will get the job responsibilities to the person. You know, we mentioned as a function of the tasks you are given and your work ethic. So let us say you didn't give the task, and this is what is happening. I want to ask you a question. If you have two subordinates and give them assignments, maybe they are not very good at the assignment, but one displays themselves to go to the net, ask questions to find out how to do it and get the result. And the other one comes to tell you that I was not trained to do this thing. Won't you tell them that this other person joined here, you haven't gone through induction and the person did it. So, how did you do it? Madam, I went to the net, I did this, and I found out I got a format online for doing it. It was just that format I used to do it. Who will you promote? That's all. Both of them have not gone through induction, but one found their way. Remember that story, message to Garcia that we started with? But you see, part of the problem we have, why you have a lot of people who work ethic, is that promotion is not based on performance. It's based on that stage 2 is everybody promoted. When we start promoting people based on their performance on the job, people will get serious. Theory X. When you start promoting people, say 2 of you enter the same year, but you can't be promoted together because your performance is better, so we promote you ahead. And people see that their colleagues are rising above them, they will get serious. For those who will get serious. There are some who will never get serious. There are some people who their own is that as far as I'm earning my salary constantly, nobody's sacking their motor. If you like, promote the whole world, you're just doing it. There are people like that. They can't be bothered. They can't be bothered. After some time, they will even start abusing management that is favoritism that they're using to do promotion. Why would you not practice favoritism on somebody who is hardworking? Is it the lazy person who practice favoritism? while it's an accusation, it is the lazy person that is favored. So that cannot encourage proper working. But you see, this part, the part says that it depends on your character. Even when those who are not hardworking are favored, if you have the right character, you will give your best. And I found out something. All the hard work you will do may not be rewarded here. It may be rewarded somewhere else, times 3. Because if it's like saving money, putting money in a savings account. As far as you don't withdraw it, the interest keeps increasing. So if you do good job before God and man, and you are not rewarded for it, the account keeps building interest. You go to somewhere, or somebody else, sometimes a fellow who knows not Joseph will appear, or a fellow who knows Joseph will appear and become prime minister. There'll just be a change in management, straight. The board of directors will just change. There is something that happens in organizations. When an MD establishes a business and has some directors and finds out that they are not performing, you get consultants to come and do stuff for you so that nobody will say they sacked them. Consultants will be called, they paid 50 million, work in the organization for 3 months, do a staff audit. And in that staff audit, everybody will judge everybody. Anonymously. You have a private room as if you are making confessions to Father in the Catholic Church. Where only you and the consultant will sit down and they will ask you questions. What are your job functions? Who is the best staff in your department? Who is the worst staff? Why is this person the worst staff? Some it's rudeness that is the reason why they are worst staff. Some this inefficiency mentioned, the person does not know how to work. Even though she's our manager, she doesn't know how to work. So how do you think that this person is improving? This is anonymous. Your name is not on it. You are not even writing. You are saying you are writing, so it's our handwriting. You won't write. You are just talking, we are writing quietly. Nobody's hearing it. You say, we hear that one of the directors is the boyfriend. That's what everybody's saying, I'm not sure. That's what everybody's saying, I'm not sure. You record it. By the time 3-4 people say the same thing in the team, you know it's true, you record it. We will not ask who the director is. Very soon we will find out, within 3 months you will know who the director is. You don't need to ask anyone, only you will find out as a consultant. Because when you hear people like that, you keep your ear on the ground more. You will be working late with them. If they are closing by 7, you start closing by 7 and see those who go together. You'll be seeing everything. And you see, if you are dating somebody in your company and you think that nobody knows, everybody knows. It is only you and the person that you are dating that don't know that everybody knows. So all these things, by the time we finish it, remember, the MD has mentioned to us that the problem is having is with leadership in this organization before the problem starts. The problem I'm having in this organization is the leadership. If I have better leadership, this organization will grow. So the consultant already has an idea where the problem is coming from MD's perspective. So when you are doing your this, you're looking at for those directors that will go. My company, where I used to work, had been paid 30 million before to sack one executive director. 30 million project, but the aim was one executive director. Every other person that was sacked in the project was what we call collateral damage. Just unfortunate, we came for a director, but unfortunately you have a poor attitude to us also. You joined. You were not the target. And in the course of that project, we found out that that director was really supposed to go. That was a director that went to a branch in Akure of the bank, and they told him that one staff was seriously sick with typhoid and couldn't come to work. And he said, is it cancer? Is it not that typhoid? Does he not know that I'm visiting the branch today? And he stayed away, sack him. It took the intervention of the regional manager there and the AGM there to stop that sack. How can you do something from director to office assistant to tell her, look at the gap? He said something that the guy knew he was coming to visit and he was not in the office because of ordinary time for it. So this thing happened in the middle of the project. And when the top is rotten, what do you think happens to the tail? The head of HR, who was part of the logistics team on the project, I had a fight with him. Head of HR, senior manager there. I can imagine the salary was earning in that bank there. But he used to come to our office to do something. So one day he was in our office, since we formed the logistics team for the project, he was in our office, and one of the subordinates, a lady, came to give him something to read on the deep. And while he was doing an 8-pager, the lady was standing by his side. We were not used to that. My managing partner will tell you to sit down. We all know, so you don't even stand. We should give him to sit down because he doesn't like it. That's how the lady was standing. So we are telling the lady, sit down now. She will look at us and look at Joga. And Joga will not say sit down. So one day, I was waiting for dinner, came to my office, and one of my colleagues, very hard-working staff, and she's a senior person at one of the banks. And he was in the room where we used to eat. We had a small room where we used to eat. While Larry was eating, he came there and said, "And what are you doing?" I said, "Please, leader could come and type this thing for me." And he got up, I told him, "I will go back and eat your food. When you finish, you type it." He did not hear that. He did not hear when I gave that instruction. So he went again, I called you, is that how you behave? I said, "Excuse me, sir, stop it. This is not your office. If not that you are part of this logistics team, you are one of the people we are supposed to sack after this project." I told him, so he was shocked. I said, "Look at you. The other day your subordinate came here and stood for hours reading an 8-pager. And you think that's how we behave in this office? You don't have right to tell her to take it to your office, let them type it for you. Let your slave type it for you. Nobody is typing that name in this office today. Nobody will type that name for you. Take it to your office." He was in shock. Bigger man, older, everything. The person he relates with is my managing partner. That's the level at which he is relating. So he waited for my managing partner to come. Fool. You think that you will, from another organization, come and sack me in my own organization where I have a close relationship with my managing partner on the job? So he came immediately, he ran in, I started drinking, watching I did to him, watching him, embarrassing before this. My managing partner called me into his immediately I got in there, I said, "Sir, nobody will type, none of my people will type that name for me. If anybody types it for me, I resign, I drop my resignation." Doctor Jonathan said, "Chima, this is serious. I've not seen like this before." And I told him what he did. Doctor now told him, "You see, the problem is that we are not used to behaving like that. Even me. Because doctor will come in and tell you, it's okay, when you finish eating, come and do this for me. You will use your brain to cover your food or eat fast and go and do it and come and continue. But he won't tell you leave your food and come and do it for you. Or he will look for another person that is free." That's what he has respect for people. Subordinates. He has respect for subordinates. So we now come to one person and do that. Doctor had to beg in his presence, say, "Please, Chima, take it and hand it over to any other person to do, even if it's not mine." Because I said that he's not going to do it. So we talked on that begging. You know, at that since the managing partner is begging me on his behalf. So I now collected the money from him, gave it to somebody else. From that day, he comes to the office and live respectfully. So I'm giving you these examples to show that at any level of incompetence, someone can be sacked. And there are various ways to do it. When the person is too high, we get consultants to come and do the sack. It's part of what we do. Just call us that and tell us, assembly, that the problem I'm having here is head of HR. We just promoted that to director of HR, and since that day, there's no this in this company. So come and do stuff for us. We say, "Don't worry, we know how to do it. You help you write how many months we will stay. Head of HR will be working with us, and then we will bring our recommendations. Then we tell everybody that this recommendation will go by its just from the consultancy. Head of HR is on her way. Straight, easy like that. We collect 30 million for that. We knew the result before we came. Yeah. So that's it. So you have a serious assignment when you have an incompetent person working with you that you can control. You have a serious assignment. You need to be straight. Another thing you can do is to teach them how to do the job. In case you know how to do the opportunity, teach them how to do the job. If you are the head, recommend them for training. We have various courses in HR that we go through before somebody is sacked. Recommend them for training in a particular area. A manager had a fight with a performing staff. Performing staff was performing more than the branch manager. Branch manager became jealous. 2 women became jealous. I was not telling them, if you go to client side, don't stay at this reception for more than 1 hour. You are going to collect hundreds of millions. You stay for 5 hours. Don't stay more than 1 hour at the station. Come back to the office. The lady will continue what she was doing because she needed to meet her targets. That's how Madam fired her. She responded and copied head office. Everybody that needed to be copied. So head office called them. Asked the lady separately, asked the manager. The gap between them was like 4 steps. After the whole thing, they said, "We get back to you." The next time they got back to them, Madam was sent to a special training program how to manage high-performing team members. That was the result of that. Yes. So this is what some people do. Instead of displaying a positive work ethic and character by taking personal pride in their work, they only do what is required of them and no more. Meanwhile, your employment letter says your job description is this, and any other thing that may be assigned to you by your supervisor. And sometimes the assignment by your supervisor is implied, not said to you. It's an implied assignment. Yes. It's not said to you. So what it means is that if they tell you that you are in charge of cleaning this AC, that is your job description. When you get there to clean the AC and it is not working, you expected to report back that the AC, I found out that it wasn't working when I was cleaning it. Some other people will just go clean the AC and go, when you ask them, when you were cleaning this AC, didn't you notice it's not working? He said, my job is to clean it, not to know if it's working or not. That's not something. People with solid work ethic and character take responsibility for the work they do. They demonstrate a willingness to not only ensure the job is done, but also accept responsibility for the results, good or bad. They take their assigned duties seriously and go the extra mile to make sure the work is the best that it can be. When you have character and are accountable, you recognize that the quality of your work is also a presentation of you. The quality of your work is a presentation of you. Now, let us look at the can-do attitude. Very important attitude to have in life, the can-do attitude. Have you come across people who cannot do anything? I can't. If you tell them that, I can't do it, I know myself. If you tell them that, this car, I'd like to buy this car, they say, are you going to commit armed robbery? Because they can't buy it. If you tell them that you want to build a house, they say, we quit salary. They don't imagine that things can change and you can build a house. They can't even imagine that in the work job, there could be opportunities that can make them make extra income genuinely and then build a house. And because they don't recognize it, when the opportunities come, they won't even know. On this job, there are opportunities to make much more than your salary without stealing company money. On this job. You'll find out. You'll find out. You only find out when you take ownership of the business, when you start doing business as your own. Yes, when you start doing business as your own. Many MDs in the parastatals of General Electric were normal managers in the office, but they came up with ideas and took percentage of the business. Jack Welch will tell them that if you are going to run this and get this in, become a shareholder and give you a percentage. From there, they became multi-millionaires. So whoever brought an idea and is queried before the management and the person defends it strongly, the person says, Jack Welch will tell you, okay, go ahead, let's establish it. You can be the MD there. Someone from a star manager becomes MD. And as you are performing, you are getting a percentage of the profits. And the person becomes a multi-millionaire. That's why they call it boundaryless organization. That's what they run in General Electric, boundaryless organization. No boundaries. Get the idea, bring it, let's look at it. So attitude is everything. Now, how much do you see of an iceberg? How much do you see of an iceberg? This is what you see. Remember the Titanic? Remember the story of the Titanic? Yes. Remember what happened to the Titanic? It crashed against an iceberg. Because when the Titanic saw this, the Titanic assumed that that was all. But that is not how icebergs really are. Look at what's happening here. Only 10% of an iceberg is very visible, 90% the bigger part is under the water. So the Titanic crashed against this, even when it was passing here, it crashed against this. Yes. And one of the biggest, if not the biggest, leisure ship ever built in human history crashed on the first voyage. That was a ship that after its building, after its construction, the owner said, even God cannot sink this ship. That was where their problem started. From that quotation, that's where their problem started. It didn't require God to sink the ship. It required an iceberg. Imagine if God had put his hand in it. What would have happened? So now, how does this relate to what we are saying here? 10% visible above sea level, 90% invisible below sea level. The iceberg phenomenon is also applicable to human beings. Knowledge, skills, known to others. Attitude, unknown to others. Knowledge and skills, known to others. Attitude, unknown to others. And that attitude that's unknown to others is the bigger one. Look at your values, your standards, your judgments, work ethics, motives, ethics, beliefs, all these things. What do they impact on? Impact on your behavior. So this behavior that is 10%, what influences it is 90% down here. Any behavior you see somebody displaying, 90% of what is influencing it is down here. Let me give you an example. A mother, 35, 36, 37-year-old, took the 13-year-old daughter, 12, 13-year-old daughter to ShopRite. They were selecting packs of soup that they would take home for the week. And at a point, the daughter says, when I have a conversation, the daughter said, Mommy, let us take egusi 5. You know, the other time we took for last week, it wasn't enough. I know that Daddy likes eating egusi. So let's take egusi 5. Okra 6. There's vegetable 4. So they buy packs of soup that was made for bachelors who can make soup to take home. A woman at 7 inch took the daughter to come and buy the soup to take home. They put it in the fridge and they want me to eat in the home as a family. If in future that young girl gets married and cannot cook, where is the problem coming from? Is that also from this side? So what you see is that she cannot cook. A whole married woman cannot cook. That's what you see, 10%. They cook at. There are even some that their mothers cook. After marriage, their mother will go and join them in cooking in the house again for them. So the child never gets to know how to cook. Then when something happens and the mother is no more or distance, the husband will be standing with the responsibility of cooking if they must be happy in the house. Yeah, something like that. So everything comes from this. So it impacts on you. So you now ask yourself, what are your values? What are your standards? What are your judgments? What are your motives? What are your ethics? What are your beliefs? If you say that somebody is very honest, that no matter what you do, the person will not be part of a fraudulent activity in the company, where is it coming from? The person may just have some form of religious inclination where they cannot do such a thing, no matter the circumstance. Another person may have that same religious inclination and do it. So what they have done is that their values and standards, they have allowed those beliefs in their religious inclination to impact on them seriously. So it shows. Another person may not have allowed that impact on them. So check yourself, your behavior today. What are the things affecting it? Negative or positive? What makes your life 100%? If every letter here is numbered 1 to 26, just imagine skills. 82, knowledge, 96, hard work, 98, only attitude, that's 100. So attitude makes your life 100%. Have you had the quotation that it is not your aptitude, but your attitude that determines your attitude? Yes. We mentioned earlier when we were talking about work ethic and how it can help you grow. You see, most people that they take along, you see a boss is leaving the company and subordinates are saying, okay, when you get their space, call me. It's because the boss had a right attitude. Is that not so? Now, will he call any subordinate that behaves anyhow that's not hardworking? When he gets there, they are talking, he will call the right person. He won't call everybody. And in this industry, we have seen subordinates who promoted their bosses. I hope you know that the subordinate can promote the boss. Do you know that subordinate can promote the boss? Yes. It's surprising, but subordinates promote their bosses, not in the same company. An assistant manager moves to another bank as deputy manager. When he gets there became need for an AGM position. He remembers that his former boss where he was working, a senior manager, is very competent in that area where the AGM is, and he makes a recommendation to management that my former boss where I was working is very good in this area. He can even close his eyes to do the job. And they invite that former senior manager for a chat in the main organization for an AGM position, the next level. And he gets it and becomes an AGM. Who promoted him? Subordinate. If he was treating that subordinate badly as an assistant manager here, will you recommend that somebody who wanted to kill you should come and kill you finally in the new place? There's a friend that I have now who used to be in one of the big banks as a senior person. From that same bank, a governor, somebody used to be a director, became a governor, current serving governor in this dispensation, and told the guy to resign. Used to be his boy. Of all his boys, you know the number of boys that a director will have. This one, he chose that he should resign and join him. The guy is not collecting a political appointment because of his religious affiliation. He doesn't want any political appointment. The governor said, join me. So every week, he's in that state, flying into Lagos and out of Lagos to see the governor, because he's working with the governor. It was the governor that told him resign. I'm governor now, resign. He used to be his boy in the bank. Attitude. You can do everything, but not all at once. You can do everything if it's important enough for you to do. You can do everything, but you may not be the best at everything. You can do everything, but there will be limitations. You can do everything, but you need help. Let me give you an example. We have good footballers in this world. Why is it that some are getting better club size than others? Why is this guy that just left Chelsea to Atletico Madrid, Morata, who can't score goals? Why is he playing in a Chelsea when Zaha has been in Crystal Palace and nobody is speaking for him? I'm sure you saw the reason yesterday. You saw the reason why Zaha remains in Crystal Palace.
Yes.
When people Zaha is the next to Hazard in the Premiership.
Yeah.
The next player that can play like Hazard is the best player in the Premiership today. The next player that can play like him is Wilfred Zaha of Crystal Palace. But he's not in any of the top 6 clubs. Why? Yesterday he just collected an unnecessary red card for indiscipline. African footballers can't get it.
Africans can't get it.
They just cannot get it.
African footballers.
They can't get it. Look at our own, the retired ones. What's his name? Prince of Monaco. Who used to bench Thierry Henry in Monaco. He used to bench Thierry Henry in Monaco. See where he left football. Thierry Henry remained relevant until he went. Is it the same Monaco he went and failed? Just look at the trade. Poor attitude. One of the best footballers Africa has produced is nowhere. You don't hear his name again. This guy from Togo, this Nigerian Togolese boy. Adebayo. Yes. Adebayo. Poor attitude. When your attitude is so poor that you're even abusing your mother on social media publicly.
Said was village.
That is just it. Poor attitude is important. But you see some other players, just look at what killed this Ghanaian boy. Balotelli. One of the best footballers the world has produced. Why? He will not dress. There was one interview of Mourinho when Mourinho was at Inter Milan. Mourinho didn't want to play him, but everybody was injured. So Mourinho called him during halftime, 15 minutes of talking to players. It was only him they talked to for 40 minutes. 14 minutes, Balotelli, Mario, please. If the people don't kick back and don't kick it, don't fight. Don't talk to the referee, no matter what he says. 14 minutes, only 1 minute to talk to the other players. Mario entered. Defender kicked him. First touch of the ball, defender tackled him. He looked, referee did not do. He chased the defender and hit the defender back. They gave him red card. Someone said they talked to 14 minutes. 14 minutes. The poor attitude. But look at the African players that have the right attitude, go to the top of their careers, like George Weah. Top of their careers, ball and everything. The right attitude. Look at JJ there. Stephen Keshi, they became among the first set of captains of foreign clubs. Do you know what it means for a black person to become the captain of a club in Europe? Belgium of those days, when racism was still on. Many of them like that, the ones that have the right attitude, go to the top of their career. The small points you are having today, do good behavior. So this thing works all the time. You see people who are very good, they will not get to the peak of their careers. They won't. Ronaldo will practice, after everybody has trained, he will go and practice free kick in the dark. When you are scoring free kick in the dark, when there is light, what will you do? On his own. Disciplined. How many red cards has Messi collected in his career? This thing that Zaha collects every 2 weeks. Collect 1 week. The other 2 weeks, red card. How many red cards has Messi collected in his career? And he dribbles more than everybody in the world. Yes, he's not collecting cards. The only way Messi can collect more red cards is if he collects red cards for dribbling people. And just let me tell you what poor attitude does. What poor attitude does to you is that you will know that the organization depends on you to grow. You will fail the organization because the attitude is poor. Meanwhile, you are supposed to be thinking, since this organization depends on me to grow, let me not do certain things so that the organization will grow. The whole team of Crystal Palace depends 70% on Zaha to be performing effectively. He's going to be out for 2 games. They will most likely lose those 2 games because if you check the games that they win or the games that they draw, is the person who got the penalty or the person who scored the goal. Without you know that person does it. But people with poor attitude don't think. They don't think about their impact on others. No. They don't. So what she mentioned earlier, the person who has a poor attitude towards job will not think on the overall result as it's going to affect the team. They won't. That is not what you are supposed to do. Whatever you do in the organization, think what is the impact of my action. Before you quarrel with somebody has annoyed you and you want to quarrel openly, and you say also, ask yourself, what is the impact of this quarrel, of hearing my voice there, in public? And sometimes you engage in quarrels you regret you got involved in. Have you quarreled with somebody before and you find yourself explaining to almost everybody who did ask you for explanation? Because you are ashamed of yourself that you got your voice that loud in public. Is that not so? Now, the funny thing is that the person you quarreled with may not feel that way. And some people are tricky, they will set you up, you will shout and they keep quiet. So it's only your voice they can hear. Yes. Mr. Grant Tracy says, do not wrestle with a pig. Both of you will get dirty, but the pig loves it. That's the natural state. Do not wrestle with a pig. Both of you will get dirty, but the pig loves it. So you won't find a conductor for 20 naira. You see, when you find a conductor for 20 naira cheap, it's not because of the 20 naira. It's because of the feeling that the conductor wants to cheat you. Not because of the 20 naira. Then after the fight, you come and tell us in the office that you mistakenly slipped and got injured because of your face. But the conductor will boast in at the park that your own injury on him was small, that what he did to you, that is not sure you go to work for one week. He's boasting at the park. Yes. So people use criminality to boast. Something that you should be ashamed of. Tear gas in Yaba, in those days, those political tear gas, everybody's running at the an area boy. That's tear gas, but the meaning of tear gas is moving as if that you should work for him for being able to inhale tear gas without being affected. You should receive accolades. Is that the type of person you want to go and start fighting? Then you will slap him once because his heart is black from different types of smoke. So he hits you and you slap him once and he falls and dies. And you go to jail for killing somebody that's already dead and they just moving. You now submit yourself to go to jail on his behalf. Because you can't control your temper. There are some people that if you want to fight you wrong, even if you can beat them. Are we together here?
Yeah.
Okay. Just imagine somebody that is at 5'2" height, slim like me, 5'2" height, like you, but 5'2" height, smallish. There is no way you see energy in his body. And he now sees our friend and decides to go and challenge him. Say, "I will kill you here, I will kill you here." And you look at him, you look at. If you see someone like that, run. Wrong. Like who have another in New Poland. Evil forest in those days, it is assumed that ghosts start coming out in the evening. So when people go to farm, when it starts getting to 6:30, when darkness is setting, they'll start running back from the farm. So they will not encounter ghosts in the forest. So Now, the update says that you are coming back from the farm by that time that even adults are running to the village. Nobody wants to be seen in the forest by that time. You are running, as you are running back, you see a small child by the bushside dancing. So the thing that is beating the drum for that small child is nearby. Just take off. Just take off. What is beating the drum for that small child is nearby. So there are some that think they want to fight you. The thing that is beating the drum for them, take off. Don't stay there to show strength. That's the right attitude to have. In the office too. You don't know who came through. You want to fight every battle. No. Before you step on toes, look at the toes very well. Is it a steppable toe or a non-steppable toe? There are different titles in the office environment. Just as you have CEO, Chief Executive Officer, COO, Chief Operating Officer, you also have another COO, cousin of the owner, NOO, niece of the owner, and you have GOO, girlfriend of the owner. You all have them in businesses. Those who have worked for many years in their career will know. A poor attitude cannot help you. A positive attitude is like a magnet for positive results. Our life is a reflection of our attitudes. Positive attitudes create a chain reaction of positive thoughts. Attitude, not aptitude, determines your attitude. No man fails if he does his best. Look at that third one. Positive attitudes create a chain reaction of positive thoughts. That is the truth. Our life is a reflection of our attitudes. Everything you do is a reflection of your attitude. In one bank named Withheld, the MD has this habit of inviting their major customers, top management of their major customers, to the bank. Then you take them around the head office from department to department. You take them around from department to department. And when he comes to your department, you are head of department, assistant head of department, you join the entourage. So by the time he gets to the last spot, almost all the heads of department in the head office are behind the entourage. So one day, top management of Nigerian Breweries visited that bank. So the MD took the MD directors, white men, or then took them around as the director of the one the head of department will follow the head of units, whichever manager, until they got to the restaurant. We showed them everywhere, including the crèche. They now got to the staff canteen. And a lady was having late lunch in the staff canteen. And that lady happens to be the girlfriend of the MD. No, by everybody. If we are that girlfriend of the MD, and you saw your MD coming with senior people in the system and visitors, white and everybody, and you were eating, what will you do? Other comments, what will you do? You've not finished your food though.
Get up now.
Is she correct?
No.
What will you do?
She will continue eating. Nothing will happen now.
Nothing will happen.
It's our girlfriend.
Yeah.
Good. You see what he said? What he said is the thought process of many girls that lack the right attitude. You know what the lady did? Not only that she continued eating, which would have been safer for her, she went by MD's first name in that crowd and used my name as an example. Chima Hi. Because they go by first name in the back. Chima Hi. And the MD pretended as if nobody was calling me. He said it like 3-4 times. And the other senior people, women, turned and looked at her with the bad eye. She continued her food. So when they finished, she went back to the as the MD was getting to the office and the visitors had left, MD got to the office, MD called head of HR. So, do you notice the lady who met at the canteen say yes, sack her? I see the head of HR knew. In another 5 minutes, the letter was ready. You know, it's a template. You just to put your name. It's a template just to fix your name. They fixed and printed out the letter. And called 2 senior women, GMs, to go and do the exit. All the 3 processes together. To give her the report. While this was going on, she went to the MD's office. Chima, I was greeting you and you didn't even respond. And the MD said, excuse me, you can come back later. I'm very busy and let me sort this thing out. We saw that this was just left, so later we'll talk about it. She said, okay. She left. As she was leaving, they called her, the women were waiting for her. They discussed with her what she did. And she was like, she did not, that was the big deal. In her mind, the MD will say, not knowing that that's person who gave instruction for the sack. So one of the senior women there, strict disciplinarian, general manager there, this thing happened over 20 years ago. She was person telling me this story. One of the women there, Yoruba woman, and the lady Yoruba girl. You know why this thing is like this? When you are Yoruba and you behave like that, it does not tell well about your character because the Yoruba culture is synonymous with respect in Nigeria. Of all the cultures, that's the one that is most synonymous with respect. Even though the culture also has the highest forms of abuse. And all of them can come out at the same time. When your mother is annoyed, all the abuses can come out in a quick succession. But it still has a record of the highest form of respect for seniors. It's a Yoruba girl you see in London, kneel in the middle of the street to greet an auntie that is crossing from the other side. She will kneel, and all the whites will be there watching what is happening here, and people will start explaining to them that culture, and that's how younger people greet older people on Oxford Street. You know. So the woman was saying, you're a bad girl and you still do not understand that this is disrespectful. And she was still trying to tell you, do not just give her education. Send her to the man. You know, at that point you can slap her and it will be recorded as fight. That's how she left that job. An assistant manager. Not a small position, but comparatively small. That's how she left the job.
Did the affair continue thereafter?
You see, you now ask yourself a question, would you really want to continue an affair with somebody with that attitude at that level? When you are operating at that level? A national figure? Every bank in this country is a national figure. Politicians talk with them every day to influence the corporate public. So those are people you avoid them. You don't want to be associated with them. They don't even want you to know that they have girlfriends, not to talk of that type of girlfriend. Poor attitude. So it creates a chain reaction of positive thoughts. Now let us look at this. Ethics and integrity in the workplace. Let's take that fast. Work ethics, a group of moral principles, standards of behavior, or set values regarding proper conduct in the workplace. Do you have a staff handbook?
Yes.
When was that staff handbook designed? When was it designed? How many years ago?
15.
About 15 years. You did a review.
Yeah.
Who does your appraisal forms?
Appraisal.
Who does your appraisal forms?
You mean the design or what?
Yes, the design.
It was also the consultant that did it.
How long ago? Still as long?
That should be about 10.
You need the total overhaul of your. You get consultants again to work with your HR and design something
that's actually
for
been
design.
done, but yet to be implemented.
Yeah.
It has been done it was done about 3 years ago.
Good. You should look at it again and design it to suit what we are doing here, especially with the points that he mentioned yesterday about some people being in operations and those being in marketing people being more prominent and stuff like that. So you design it in such a way that everybody will know that they are part of every function. So they are mutual respect no matter the department you find yourself. So you need to look at it. Group of moral principles, standards of behavior, or set values regarding proper conduct in the workplace. Now, relationships at work. These are the relationships we have at work. Management toward client, customer, management toward employees, employee toward employer, co-workers, and customers. Those are relationships we have at work. We'll now see how this plays out. What do we call business abuse? Any illegal, unethical, irresponsible act done against an employer is business abuse. Any illegal, unethical, irresponsible act done against an employer is business abuse. There are also some of these things done against an employee. It's also business abuse. Yes. For example, sexual harassment can be done against an employee or management. But take note, sexual harassment is not a specific act. It depends on the response from the person being harassed. If the response is positive, it is not sexual harassment. If the response is expected, that is, you guided the MD towards harassing you sexually, it is not sexual harassment. So if you walk past your manager, your senior manager that you admire, and you walk past him, and when you're walking past him, you turn and look at him to make he's admiring you. And two of you, your eyes meet, and he starts from there. You just give him introduction. What have you been looking since I came to this office? Look at something. Then you start looking at something. It's not sexual harassment. Take note of that. It's only sexual harassment when you do not want it at all. Vehemently. You do not want it.
Well, sexual harassment is not only from top bottom. It's also
Of course.
Again.
Of course, yes. Of course, I've had a situation where a young man was not doing good work. The executive trainee, the Diamond Bank of those days, was a supervisory skills class in Abuja. And the head of the unit, about 34, 35-year-old lady, single then, pretty, by all standards. You know, they say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Some people's beauty is in the eye of many beholders. All beholders. Pretty lady. One young boy came to the team, and the manager of the team became his crush. His work output was poor from the beginning. You know that situation where you are in love and the person does not notice that you love them? The psychological impact on you, that was what he was going through. Until one day, the manager just launched Prado then. Land Cruiser Prado, brand new. Senior girl. She's not at the level where she will get that as official car, so she launched it herself. Came to the office celebrating. It was a Friday, so for her, that was not a work day. She was celebrating the car. Got to the office, bought things for them, told them about the car, who we are going out to see. When she came in, that boy did not know, because of the excitement, the young man did not know when he said to Madam, "Hello, pretty." And everybody had it and shivered on his behalf. Madam pretended as if she did not hear it, got into her office and called him to come in. Everybody knew why she called him. Well, I asked him, "What was that you said when I was coming in?" I said, "What was that you said when I was coming in?" He said, "Madam, let me just say it to you, so anything you want to do to me, I love you." Anything you want to do to me, I love you. And you know, that thing will weaken a woman at that point. When there's a much younger person, 26, 27 years, is telling you at 35 that she loves you, it weakens you. If you are a nice person, you are not a wicked person. Nobody is a wicked person who hates somebody who loves them. Yes. You may not have an affair with the person, but it is wickedness on your part to hate somebody who loves you, who has not done anything wrong. So, Madam said, "Look at you. Small boy, like, instead of you to face your career, that's why you have been making mistakes here. You will not face your career. Yeah, come on, leave my office." And that was the end. But from that day, his work performance improved because at least he has said it out. So his work performance improved drastically. So, because Madam was the boss, she now paid him more attention psychologically, so that, because before he used to harass him for poor performance, abusing him in the office openly, so that was further demeaning him and reducing his self-esteem. But this time, immediately she found out what the problem was, she started handling him with care and the performance improved greatly. So it can happen to anybody. Women make the mistake of feeling that because they are married and have kids, that they don't have admirers among the younger men. Lie. Some women who are married and with kids are finer than some single women without kids. Correct? The men, they are correct? Yes. Yes, there are some women that are married that will admire more than those that are single. They are finer. If you are married and you are happy, you will be finer than before you are married. That is the truth. And that is why some men have regretted not marrying somebody, because they found them out later after the woman and the man that have blossomed. They now found out that they should have married this person that is finer than the one they mentioned. They didn't know that it's somebody else that did the work for the woman to blossom. Everybody needs panel beating. Nobody is perfect. So for you to come out, you need some panel beating spraying to come out. Everybody needs it. Yes, and refurbishing. Everybody needs it. So these are the results of business abuse. Higher prices, business failure, fewer jobs, unpleasant working conditions. These are the results of business abuse. Higher prices, business failure, fewer jobs, unpleasant working conditions. And you can see that it's over here before you know people are sacked. And you see, when people are sacked, if we are engineering the organization, we do not get those who led to its closure. We get fresh people. Examples of business abuse. Stealing. Stealing merchandise, that is your products, money, shoplifting, kickback, conflict of interest, unauthorized discount. This is what we mean by conflict of interest. You are working here and at some point, you raise money and buy a tractor privately. So when people call you for TOG at 18,000 per hectare, you tell them that they can get it cheaper. When they are negotiating with you for discount, this is how to give them discount. You tell them that they can get it cheaper somewhere else. So you can get it cheaper somewhere else. But you see here, we are professionals. You won't give the discount. Before you know it, you say yes. If you go to a competition like Chima and company, this one and this and company, they will give it to you cheaper. But our services are better. What is the service? Climb the tractor and plow the land. That's all. So the person will now go to that company where you have some shares to do the business. So that is conflict of interest. So that is conflict of interest. Then unauthorized discounts. What it means is that you are not authorized to give discounts, but you give discounts. So if our discount is 10%, for example, approved by management, there are situations, it doesn't have to be 10%. There are situations where you can go to 15 or 20%. Get superior approval. Don't do it yourself, you don't have the approving powers. That's what we mean here. So get somebody senior to approve the 20% that is beyond what the 10% that has been agreed that everybody can give. Are we getting it?
Yeah.
Yes. So that helps. Let me see whether there's another point here. Then time. Stealing time. Stealing time. How do we steal time? How do we steal time? I want comments. How do we steal time?
Coming late.
Coming late to the office is one. Okay, you are in the office on time. Can you still steal time when you are in the office on time?
Yes.
How?
Not doing what.
Watching YouTube.
Some people will come to the office by 6.
Yes.
By 10, they have not done anything.
Yes.
But they are there on time. And we'll be giving them award every year for punctuality. And they know that that is what they're looking for. Someone who will come on time. Does it happen that you truly come on time every day and there is no work for you to do for the first 1 hour, 2 hours? Does it not happen in the work environment?
Watching OTV.
Yes. Browsing. Then vandalism. Falsifying records. Stealing pen. Office pen, you take it home and forget it and come and take another one. Is business abuse. Breaking confidentiality. Ignoring safety rules. Presenting merchandise. Let me give you an example of breaking confidentiality. You'll be surprised.
Sorry.
We have just found out that the member of staff is HIV positive. The member of staff is HIV positive. We have found out. Head of HR knows, and that type of information in every organization over the world, we will not announce it. We call the person with management, few people, discuss it, and advise the person to resign if need be. Advise the person to resign. That's what we do. Head of HR now goes anywhere head of HR sees plate. The plate or cup that used to drink tea. Head of HR will come to allow him to use the cup. Allow him to use your cup. They don't say why. So it's that's HR. He is resign. And you know you don't get it by drinking with cup or anything like this.
No.
That's why the person is not asked to leave immediately. Head of HR goes telling me, I'm telling you something that happened in my organization. What saved that head of HR? What saved that head of HR was that head of HR happens to be a niece to the MD of it. And that niece is sort of her mother is late. That is the senior sister to the MD is late. So it's the responsibility of the, and she's an only child. So it became the responsibility of that lady to take care of her from university in her career. So she has not worked in any other organization except the one that belongs to the husband of that MD or her own organization. So because of that, management finished her, gave her suspension, they did not sack her. And the MD just kept her face somewhere so that she can go through the whole of the punishments. That's how bad it is. That is breaking confidentiality. A staff, robbers came to the house of a staff in the house, and somehow the head of HR, you hear that she was raped when the robbers came. You will now come to the office and you are the person passing the message around. Yet you are not head of HR, you are the staff of God. You are not the person telling everybody in the office that you heard that she was raped when the robbers came. When they find out, head of HR sack the staff immediately. The staff that is carrying that message should be sacked immediately. That is not that person we want to hear. Are we together on this? These are all forms of breaking confidentiality. Ignoring safety rules.
And before you go ahead, you see, breaking confidentiality does not only end with HR or something.
Yes.
Most times, you see, the drivers who are driving executives, maybe it took one of the executives somewhere. He said, this morning we entered, chairman did not sleep at home. He went somewhere. He said, no, it happened. It happened a lot.
That was a sacked for that.
Yes, because now that we are here, they are here, they need to know that there's some confidentiality they have to maintain. Where you take your boss to is not the business of anybody. It is between you. If your boss does not, in the first time, don't have trust and confidence in you,
they will drive themselves. They
won't
know how to drive better than you.
So it's for you now to.
The car that drive themselves fits them more than it fits you. So they will collect it and drive.
So we have to know that it's not only when you're in charge.
No.
A lot of things are happening. That's why you see some people. They say, well, rather than allow driver, let me drive myself.
Yes.
Even when they are going for business deals, they have seen where they have broken confidentiality that the company loses that business.
Exactly.
They don't even know who is watching. They just say that people need.
Let me tell you how bad this thing is saying is. You go and say somewhere that you are carrying somebody, you say somewhere that you are passing a particular street, you say, Death Nest House, the greenhouse inside, is actually the girlfriend of our MD stays. You are talking to somebody who does not work in the company. That yes, we are the girlfriend of our MD stays. They say, how do you know that? Is it not me that brings in there regularly? That's what it is. Do you know that your company can lose business based on that?
Yeah.
Lose business to another MD who has girlfriend though. You see, these are things that because this is a lifestyle that is not associated with royalty, even though royalty lives it. You are doing TGIF, you carry 2 bottles of gold, and when you finish this one, and you throw the bottle after 2 big stout. Your boss that drinks, when it's time for promotion, they say that guy is a drunkard, and he drinks a whole bottle of Hennessy alone. You're on 3 bottles of big stout. TGIF, they say you're a drunkard. Your boss drinks a full bottle of Hennessy alone. He's not a drunkard. You smell cigarette. You smell cigarette once in the office. Irresponsible. Your boss smokes cigars. And he's responsible. But you never catch him smoking it. He knows when to smoke it. You take a teaspoon of beer on a Monday morning and it smells in your mouth. Irresponsible man. Your boss has cartons of it, supplied free in his house. When he gets home, he takes like 4 before he goes to bed. But you are the responsible person. So what happens is that when you say things like that, the other MD will say, how can I do business with this company whose MD faces me up and down? Somewhere in Mushi, that's where you have a girlfriend. That's why I hear one of the drivers say, one build in Mushi, that's where the girlfriend stays. And you just destroyed your company. So there are some jobs that are for people who can keep confidentiality. A driver is one of the personal assistants. It's one of such. There are some documents that only the MD will see and you. Even some other members of staff do not have seen it. There will be salary increase in 2 months' time. Let her keep quiet until the memo comes out. Even though she knows she was part of the meeting. Then she can tell you that don't worry, management is doing something about it. She already knows this new salary. In fact, she wrote it down and sent it for approval, but she never talked. People will, our salary is too low. She has done it already. She has sent it for management has approved. It is to take effect in 2 months' time. If you want to resign, she will just advise you, don't resign, your things will improve casually. You won't talk more than that. Don't resign, things will improve. I can't deceive you. That's all. How much are they paying here? They say they're paying me 150,000. And she knows that by the new salary scale that has been approved, it will be 170. If you don't go, in my opinion, I'll say if you do, the things will get better. That's what they'll be telling you. And you won't know why. I just want us to finish these various examples before we take a 10-minute break. Poor client service, you mentioned that irresponsible behavior. Like these ones I mentioned, drinking on a Monday morning, some of us will have lunch, some of us cannot eat without taking beer. So even when you eat during office hours, you go and find somewhere and take canned trophy. Long one. Some people actually have origin bitters, the small one in the pocket constantly. One of them is sachet Chelsea. These things are too cheap for you to lose your job. You can avoid them during office hours. That's irresponsible behavior. Addictions, drugs, alcohol, tobacco. When you are addicted to them, it's irresponsible behavior. In fact, the way you dress can be irresponsible behavior. You see this sagging thing, it's not for professionals. You see a young man will buy an oversized trouser. You are 6 feet, you buy a trouser for somebody who is 5'3". Then the thing will start from here. Then the pocket will be here. Then you wear cheap boxers, 300 naira boxers, and be exposing it. It's a tight t-shirt. That's irresponsible behavior. What we are saying is that if any member of management sees you on a weekend when you are not at work dressed like that, they will declare you irresponsible from that day, even though you didn't dress like that to the office. Imagine you dressing like that to ShopRite and one of your key customers sees you. Irresponsible behavior is business abuse. And so that is how someone was sacked recently in a particular bank because he closed from work and he took sugar cane and was eating along the road. Along the road. As he was walking to the bus stop. And a management staff saw him. The next day he was sacked for irresponsible behavior. And you know why they sacked him? Because he still had the bank's ID card on his neck while he was trained. The ID card was not there. He still had the ID card on his neck while he was trained with more accuracy. Irresponsible behavior. So it's con season will soon be out. With the company badge, roasted con on the road as you're walking to the source stop. All those drugs, alcohol, tobacco, are all responsible. Yeah, it's a long list. We can't exhaust all of them. Look at the person ones are coming on plate. Gossip. Gossip poor work environment, lowers productivity and morale. You are the person who knows everything that is happening in the company. Only you. Only you knows who is going out with who. Only you knows who has abused the MD. Only you knows all the gossip happening in the company from you alone. You will even know what HR knows, and it's not talking about you. And the person will go and tell HR, did you hear that the MD of our company is opening another company? And she's the person who drew the staff, who drew the job description for the staff of the new company. The job description for the new company, it is she that did the job description of everybody that will employ the new company. You can gossip again to her. So I hear that our MD is opening another company. Instead of increase our salary, it's opening company. And you are telling the person who did the job description for the staff. Why? And then it starts from your home. That's where you started the gossip. Harassment of co-workers or welcome sexual advances, compliance as condition for employment. You are employing somebody in the company, and somebody says if you do not have sleep, you will not be employed. That is, if one person does it and it is found out by management, the person should be sacked. Unless the person is the owner of the business and cannot sack himself.